This is the easiest way to make a sourdough starter from scratch using the simplest method. So first of all, what you want to have is a jar. You want one that doesn't have a sealed lid. So you want something like the wek jar, where the jar just sits like that, or you want the kilner jar with the push top. We don't want screws or anything like that, or clips, because the starter wants to be able to breathe. You're going to want to have a strong white bread flour. This particular one has a protein content of 13 grams, absolutely fantastic for making a sourdough starter. And then you want some water, and the most important thing about the water is that it doesn't have chlorine in it. I use filtered water, but you can achieve that in any which way that is best for you. And you're going to want a set of kitchen scales. These are our priority when it comes to making a sourdough starter, because we do need exact measurements. First thing we're going to do with a brand new starter is just mix together flour and water. I'm going to add in 50 grams of water, and then I'm going to add 50 grams of the strong white bread flour. And I'm going to mix the two together and then put them somewhere nice and warm. There we go, that's 50 grams, and mix the two together. I'm going to put it somewhere nice and warm for 24 hours. At the moment, it's just going to smell like flour and water. That is it. And then tomorrow, this is where it becomes incredibly important. What I'm going to do is I'm going to discard enough to leave 50 grams in the jar. I don't care what I take out, I need to leave 50 grams in the jar. Then I'm going to feed it with 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of water. And then 24 hours later, I'm going to leave 50 grams in the jar and then feed it with 50 grams of flour and 50 grams of water. And I'm going to do that for 7 days. That's all I'm going to do, nothing special. Make sure it's nice and warm, just feeding it every day. I'm not taking away half, I'm not leaving some behind, I'm not guessing my measurements, I'm taking away enough to leave 50 grams. If you have the wek jar, these weigh 400 grams. And if you have the kilner jar, these weigh 450 grams. It's a very important thing to know, because tomorrow, when I discard out of my jar, I want to know that my jar with that inside it now weighs 450 grams. But of course, if it was this one, it'd be 500. The discard that we take out at this stage, we can't keep it for anything, and that does need to go in the bin. If you don't want to discard, you don't have to, but remember to feed it at a 1:1:1 ratio, means that all 3 ingredients weigh the same. So if I carry on doing exactly this, on day 7, I should have a nice active starter, and that is only going to use up 350 grams of flour, which is not even a third of this bag of flour. So if I was to then take this tomorrow, I've got 100 grams in there, so I would have to feed it with 100 grams of flour and 100 grams of water. And then on day 3, I'd have 300, so I'd have to feed it with 300 and 300. Then I'd have 900, and then I'd have to do, can you see where it's going? So by day 7, I'd need a bathtub full of it. So although it feels wasteful, it's not wasteful. It's actually more wasteful to not discard. But at this point, before your starter has actually become active, we cannot use the starter for anything, because it might give you a tummy upset. If you are thinking of making your very own sourdough starter though, get started straight away. Good luck with it, and if you've got any questions, just drop them below and we'll see what we can do to help you.